From revealing Newcastle United's summer transfer budget to discussing Sky Sports' U-turn after Newcastle United transfer bombshell claim,
Well. How the turntables...
to unveiling the two deals worth more than £42 million, Newcastle United have recently agreed. To Newcastle contacting the agent and making approach for phenomenal £30 million Titan, who's Gibbs White 2.0, to revealing Bruno Guimaraes' statement that changes everything. Plus, we'll also uncover the secret truth behind Tosin Adarabioyo's Newcastle snub.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
Join us as we uncover the latest Newcastle United news. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because you won't want to miss a single moment of this incredible journey.
Let's go.
Starting off, according to a report from The Athletic, Newcastle United's likely summer transfer budget is expected to be somewhere between £70 million and £100 million, although player sales could potentially provide manager Eddie Howe with additional funds to work with. The report suggests that the Magpies' transfer budget for the upcoming window is likely to be similar to the levels of investment seen in the previous two summers. This comes despite Howe's previous comments that conventional transfer budgets are becoming increasingly complicated due to the impact of financial fair play, FFP, and profit and sustainability regulations, PSR. The Athletic's piece outlines the key areas Howe is looking to strengthen this summer, with the acquisition of a right winger being the top priority. Additionally, the Toon boss is also seeking to bring in a goalkeeper, two central defenders, and a striker to bolster his squad. Interestingly, the report highlights the specific attributes Howe is craving in his summer signings. The 46-year-old is said to be looking for players who possess positional and tactical versatility, as well as those who can add speed, strength, and running power to the team. The article also suggests that Howe is keen to bring in experienced players, as the club faces the potential departure of several aging squad members, including the likes of Callum Wilson and Miguel Almiron. There are also questions surrounding the future of Kieran Trippier, whose contract is set to expire next summer. Furthermore, The Athletic reports that Newcastle are keeping a close eye on relegated talent from Burnley, Luton, and Sheffield United, following their recent success in securing players from relegated clubs such as Nick Pope, Harvey Barnes, and Tyno Livramento. Overall, the report provides an insight into Newcastle's anticipated summer transfer activity, with Howe's desire for versatile, athletic, and experienced players likely to guide the club's recruitment strategy in the upcoming window. Then, in a recent report from Sky Sports, Newcastle United was previously identified as one of 6 Premier League clubs under pressure to sell key players before June 30th in order to adhere to the league's profitability and sustainability rules, PSR. The original Sky Sports report claimed that Newcastle, along with Everton, Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, Aston Villa, and newly promoted Leicester City, were facing the potential need to offload important assets before the June 30th deadline. This date marks the end of the current financial year for PSR calculations, meaning clubs that have exceeded the £105 million loss limit over a 3-year period would need to sell players to avoid potential punishment. Sky Sports had described this June 30th deadline as a mini-transfer deadline day for the clubs in question, as they would need to reduce their losses in order to remain compliant with the league's financial regulations. However, the report has since been removed from Sky Sports' social media channels, indicating a potential U-turn on the initial claims. The Gazette, a local Newcastle publication, has reported that the club has refrained from commenting on the Sky Sports report. This is despite the fact that Newcastle's head coach, Eddie Howe, had previously stated that the club would need to sell players during the upcoming summer transfer window, which opens on June 14th. The report's removal from Sky Sports platforms suggests a potential retraction or clarification of the initial claims, but the underlying financial pressures faced by Premier League clubs due to the PSR continue to be a significant factor in the upcoming summer transfer window. It is understood that Newcastle is not considering selling their top assets, such as Alexander Isak and Bruno Guimaraes, who have attracted interest from other clubs. However, Guimaraes' £100 million release clause could potentially complicate matters, as it could be triggered before the June 30th deadline, potentially taking the decision out of Newcastle's hands. However, according to the latest reports, Newcastle United star midfielder Bruno Guimaraes has declared his contentment at St. James's Park, despite swirling rumors of a potential summer exit due to financial fair play constraints. The 26-year-old Brazilian maestro has been a standout performer for the Magpies since joining the club in January 2022 from Lyon. Guimaraes has caught the eye of several footballing giants, including Manchester City and Arsenal, sparking widespread speculation about his future. However, when interviewed by Brazilian media, Guimaraes delivered a resolute message, stating that his future is in God's hands and that he is very happy at Newcastle. He acknowledged the ongoing discussions surrounding financial fair play, but emphasized that he is not worried about the situation and is focused on enjoying his time with the club. Guimaraes stated, "Look, my future, to be honest, is in God's hands. I have a contract with Newcastle. I'm very happy. As I said, I know how much they like me. I know everything I've been doing for the club. In short, I have a contract. I'm happy. I don't know what can happen. We know everything about financial fair play, but what I can say is that I feel happy." He further expressed his appreciation for the interest from other clubs, recognizing that it reflects his strong performances, but reiterated his contentment at Newcastle, saying, "Obviously, it's very nice to have your name linked with big clubs. It shows that I'm doing my job well, but I'm not worried about it at all. As I said, I'm happy at the club. I'm very happy, so let's see what happens. I'm not in any hurry. I'm happy, and it's up to God. Let's see what happens." Newcastle manager Eddie Howe has also emphasized the club's desire to retain Guimaraes, stating, "It goes without saying what my thoughts on the Bruno situation are. We want to keep him. We want to build our team around him, and he's an integral part of what we are doing." So despite the perceived financial pressures facing Newcastle and several other Premier League clubs due to FFP regulations, Guimaraes' commitment to the club and his unwavering happiness at St. James's Park provide a positive outlook for the Magpies' future. On the other hand, according to an exclusive report by Telegraph Sport, Newcastle United are reluctantly considering selling talented young winger Yankuba Minteh this summer to comply with Premier League profit and sustainability rules and to fund their own recruitment plans. The 19-year-old Gambian winger, who was signed by Newcastle's former director of football Dan Ashworth last summer for £6.5 million from Danish club Odense, has impressed during his loan spell at Feyenoord last season, scoring 10 goals and providing 5 assists in 27 matches. Minteh's impressive performances have generated strong interest from several clubs across Europe, including Liverpool. The Reds are now managed by Arne Slot, who was the Feyenoord manager when Minteh was on loan there, and is thought to be a big admirer of the young winger's potential. However, Newcastle are facing pressure to sell players this summer in order to comply with the Premier League's financial regulations. As a result, they are reluctantly considering accepting bids of around £40 million for Minteh, despite the club's preference to keep hold of the player. The report suggests that Newcastle manager Eddie Howe is keen to take a closer look at Minteh during pre-season. But Howe has made the signing of a new right-sided forward one of the top priorities this summer. West Ham's Jared Bowen, Crystal Palace's Michael Olise, and Atletico Madrid's Nico Williams have featured prominently in recruitment meetings. And the fact Newcastle will not be playing in any European competitions next season means Minteh's game time would be limited if they keep him, have led them to consider selling the teenager. As a result, Newcastle feel it is in the best interests of both the player and the club to at least listen to offers for Minteh given the level of interest that has been shown in him. While Newcastle would prefer to keep Minteh, who they believe could go on to become a top player, the financial pressures they face have forced them to make difficult decisions. Selling Minteh, who is yet to make a first-team appearance for the Magpies, would make it easier for the club to keep hold of their star players like Bruno Guimaraes and Alexander Isak. But tell me, what do you think about this situation? Then moving on, according to the latest reports, Newcastle United are expressing strong interest in signing Fulham midfielder Andreas Pereira during the upcoming summer transfer window. Brazilian outlet Globo has reported that the Magpies are one of the clubs that have sounded out the player's agent, Kai Jorabchian, and made an approach for the 28-year-old talent. Pereira has reignited his Premier League career after joining Fulham for around £10 million in the summer of 2022. During the 2023-24 campaign, Pereira has been an impressive performer for the Cottagers, scoring 3 goals and providing 7 assists in his 37 appearances, while only missing a single game. His ability to consistently stay fit could be a significant boost for Newcastle manager Eddie Howe. However, Newcastle are not the only club interested in Pereira. as the report states that fellow Premier League sides Aston Villa and Tottenham Hotspur are also keen on securing the Brazilian's signature. Any potential deal for Pereira is expected to cost at least £30 million. While Pereira is not the first midfielder to be linked with a move to Tyneside, he could prove to be a more cost-effective alternative compared to some of the club's other rumoured targets, such as Nottingham Forest's Morgan Gibbs-White. When comparing the two players, Gibbs-White has accumulated 15 combined goals and assists this season, slightly outperforming Pereira's 10 goal involvements. However, Pereira has excelled in other areas, including a higher take-on success rate and a better shot conversion, with 31% of his shots on target, compared to Gibbs-White's 19%. Howe's midfield already boasts the impressive duo of Bruno Guimaraes and Joelinton, and the potential addition of Pereira could further strengthen Newcastle's options in the center of the park, potentially creating an all-Brazilian midfield trio. Overall, the reported interest in Pereira suggests that Newcastle are exploring various options to bolster their squad ahead of the upcoming season, with the Fulham midfielder emerging as a potentially more affordable alternative to some of the club's other midfield targets. Then, according to reports from Football Insider, Newcastle United have agreed 2 lucrative deals this week that will significantly boost their commercial and retail revenue. Firstly, the club has struck a multi-year kit manufacturing deal with Adidas, starting from the 2024-25 season. This new partnership with the German sportswear giant is worth £30 million per season to Newcastle, a substantial increase from their previous £5 million deal with Castore. Alongside the Adidas kit deal, Newcastle have also announced a multi-year agreement with UK-based retailer JD Sports to become the club's official sports retail partner. Sources have informed Football Insider that the total value of these 2 deals will earn Newcastle over £42 million per season. This figure is made up of the £30 million base fee from the Adidas deal, plus an additional £12 million in commission from shirt sales under the new kit partnership. While Newcastle will only receive a small percentage, around 6-8%, of the commission from each shirt sale, the club is expected to experience a significant spike in both commercial and retail revenue from the 2023-24 season onwards as a result of these new agreements. This represents a major boost for Newcastle, who have already seen their off-pitch commercial revenue climb from £26.5 million in 2021 to £22 to £43.9 million in the 2022-23 season, following the club's takeover in 2021. The launch of the new Adidas home and training kits on Friday, the 7th of June, is expected to further drive excitement and sales among the Newcastle fan base, contributing to the club's increased commercial and retail income. Overall, these 2 major deals worth over £42 million per season will provide a substantial financial injection to support Newcastle's continued growth and investment in the squad and the club as a whole. Then, according to the latest developments, Newcastle United's failure to sign Tosin Adarabioyo from Fulham was not primarily due to financial reasons, but rather the player's preference to remain in London. Journalist Jacques Talbot, writing for Football Transfers, has claimed that the financial packages offered by both Newcastle and Chelsea were fairly comparable. Newcastle reportedly offered Adarabioyo a weekly wage of £130,000, while Chelsea's offer was £135,000 per week. Given that joining Chelsea would mean Adarabioyo would continue to live in London, where the cost of living is generally higher, the Magpies' offer could be considered the better deal in real terms. However, the report suggests that the 26-year-old centre-back's decision to join Chelsea was more heavily influenced by his desire to remain in the capital, rather than purely being a case of him choosing money over football. Additionally, it's noted that Adarabioyo has a pre-existing relationship with new Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca, having played under him during their time together at Manchester City. This familiarity with the incoming Chelsea boss is believed to have been a contributing factor in the player's decision-making process. The news will undoubtedly be a disappointment for Newcastle fans, who had widely expected the Magpies to secure Adarabioyo's signature on a free transfer when his Fulham contract expired at the end of the month. Now, Newcastle will likely have to allocate a portion of their transfer budget to sign a new centre-back, unless they can find an alternative free agent option to replace the outgoing Adarabioyo. Overall, the report suggests that Newcastle's failure to land Adarabioyo was more to do with the player's personal preference to remain in London, and his existing relationship with the new Chelsea manager, rather than any issues with the club's financial offer. Then finally, if you want to know the most exciting news, Fabrizio Romano has just dropped. That will make you happy. Click the video link on screen now.